Here, we are Ugandans who live in the UK and Europe, I can say, who left Uganda not in the normal ways or normal circumstances, but we are counting 42 years of dictatorship in Uganda, when the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda seized power in Uganda by the means of force. He was a rebel leader, having murdered 1.5 million Ugandans to seize power by force in 1986. Most of you in front of me, you are not yet born by that time. But we count from 1986, when the brutal dictator, the junta of Uganda, Museveni, seized power in Uganda. And up to now, the brutal junta, the dictator of Uganda, Museveni, is still in power. Why is he still in power? He has murdered, he has killed, he has committed atrocities, abused human rights. Corruption in Uganda is the name of today. We are talking about the most expensive brutal dictator in the world, the dictator of Uganda. He has got 500 armored cars. I repeat, the brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda. He owns 500 armored cars. While in Uganda, we don't have no working hospitals. Most Ugandans fly to India for treatment. But you ask yourself, having been in power for 42 years, we cannot have even a simple, decent hospital. And when Ugandans, the first family, fell sick, they are flown to India for medical tourism in India. India has got 1.3 billion people. The Parliament of India has got 600 MPs, 1.5 billion people. But Uganda, a country of 50 million, we've got 528 MPs. Yes. You can see how Uganda is corrupt. Without India, Ugandans will be dead. Because those who can afford to fly to India for medical tourism, they survive. But the normal indigenous poor Ugandans who can't afford a £1 paracetamol die in the so-called hospitals where you don't have even surgical gloves. People power. Our power. NUP. Everywhere. Listen to what the brutal dictator has constructed in the 42 years in his reign. Yes. He has built prisons and schools. Yes. He has built death torture chambers, where women and men are being raped. Yes. But he hasn't built hospitals for Ugandans. Yes. Instead of him buying ambulances in Uganda, he's buying military patrol cars. Yes. A country of the population of 50 million Ugandans. Yes. We are being serviced with 10 working ambulances. Yes. But we have over 4,000 military patrol cars. Shame on Museveni. Shame on the corrupt regime of Museveni and Muhoozi. We are calling on the brutal dictator. 42 years in power is more than enough. 42 years in power only represents corruption. Uganda under Muhoozi and Museveni is the most corrupted country in the world. People power. Our power. A message to Ugandans. Yes. You've been counting on your oil. Yes. Your oil has been taken over and sold to the richest billionaire from Nigeria by the name of Dangote. Yes. So Ugandans, you've been thinking that under this brutal dictator Museveni of Uganda, you'll get decent hospitals in Uganda. It's moving from worse to bad. Yes. Right now, the brutal dictator's wife, she's receiving advanced medical treatment in America.
Which she does.
Why?
Yes.
He's a brutal dictator who is supposed to have built hospitals in Uganda.
Yes.
The first family flight to St. Thomas Hospital for medical tourism.
Yes.
Shame on the brutal dictator. Shame on Muhoozi. Ugandans have been tortured by Muhoozi, who is the so-called CDF, a man who cannot read and write, a drunkard, a dummy, wearing the Uganda UPDF uniform.
Yes.
Shame on the Uganda UPDF. We are calling the cartoon Muhoozi
Yes.
to release all the political prisoners
Yes.
who are languishing in prison
Yes.
for the last 6 years
Yes.
without seeing any justice in their future.
Yes.
Museveni is the justice minister.
Yes.
Museveni is the dictator.
Yes.
The son is the army commander.
Yes.
The wife is the minister of education.
Yes.
The brother is in the minister of finance.
A monarchy.
That is Uganda for you.
Yes.
They have built a monarchy, but that monarchy will not survive.
Yes.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP. Everywhere. You find in Uganda,
Yes.
if you happen to be an MP or a Speaker of Parliament,
Yes.
in 5 years alone, you can accumulate $26 billion. But while Ugandans don't have no hospitals,
Yes.
the only way to fight corruption in Uganda
Yes.
is by arresting the first family,
Yes.
starting from Muhoozi,
Yes.
Museveni,
Yes.
Salimu Saleh,
That's
Janet,
the junta.
and all the Mbabazis.
Yes.
Those are the people who have made Ugandans poorer under their 42 years Tutsi dynasty in Uganda.
Yes.
People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NAP.
Everywhere.
We are just standing here as few, but the masses will carry on coming.
Yes.
We have to call on work today.
Yes.
We have to come here to represent
Yes.
the 50 million suffering Ugandans
Yes.
who cannot stand on the streets of Kampala and Uganda
Yes.
and say enough is enough.
Enough is
Museveni is a brutal dictator who should not be in power by now. He should be in the International Criminal Court.
He belongs to heaven.
That's where he belongs.
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello, Ugandans and the people in UK. We've had the junta of Uganda governing and dictating things for the last 42 years. Now his wife, bless her soul to the hell, she tested the real truth of having emergency service and having good hospitals. The junta of Uganda, Museveni, he is the ruler of Uganda. The brother is the central bank of Uganda. The son is the army commander. The wife is the minister of education, minister for sports. The brothers are all heads of departments. That's the junta. We are talking to you people in UK, not because we are asking for money. We are asking you to stop funding the dictator. Just this week, the funding showed how much there is nothing that goes to the people. One of the junta's sympathizer, God bless him in hell, let him stay with all the others who have parted, Tumwine and so on. They tested it. He was put in a fake ambulance. 3 miles away, it stopped. They brought another one. It stopped. Now they are testing their fruits. And they think we should maintain that rhythm of having no emergency services. Uganda's corruption is beyond Nigeria and India. Uganda is so corrupt. The password in Uganda is corruption. They have stolen every single coin. Uganda's parliament, the member of parliaments are paid more than the member of parliaments in Europe. Europe funds the Uganda parliament and America, yet the MPs in Uganda are paid more than the MPs in Europe and America. So how can a funder be funded and he pays more than you. Stop funding the dictator. You've prolonged his going for 42 years. The dictator in Uganda has killed, raped, maimed, abducted, and it doesn't do anything from what Putin does. But Putin is always in the headlines. Museveni of Uganda, the junta, has never been in the headlines. Why? Because you think the junta Putin is more of a threat. But Museveni is more of a threat. The only time you get attention when you know we've got precious minerals and high value minerals. Please stop funding. The people you see here are not begging funds. We are telling you, UK, stop funding the dictator. You've prolonged our pain. The junta of Uganda has done nothing to improve the situation for the last 42 years. Most of you looking at me have never lived 42 years. Anybody standing here has never seen any other ruler except the junta of Uganda. That's how long he has been here. They started the Euro Tunnel, finished it. Margaret Thatcher is gone. He is still there. This is a man who was there before Margaret Thatcher, if you can remember Margaret Thatcher. And now he's still there, and people think it's right. This is a man who has damaged the infrastructure. Uganda has no medical services, no emergency services, yet you keep funding this. And the money goes to the corrupt officials. Bishop Sentamu of UK, the MPs in the Lords have had a share in stealing Uganda's money. Thank you for listening.
Hello, Trafalgar. We are talking about Uganda, a small country in Africa by the name of Uganda, which has been ruled by a brutal junta, a dictator, for the last 42 years. We are not talking about 12 years, 42 years of dictatorship in this beautiful country. And that's why today we are here to expose the corruption scandals in this country, Uganda. We are here to tell you that Ugandans, the main structural pillar of corruption in Uganda is the first family. What do I mean by the first family? The dictator himself, the wife, Muhoozi. I want to let Ugandans know that the main structural pillar of corruption in Uganda is the brutal dictator Museveni himself, the junta. Second by his wife, Janet Kataha Museveni. Followed by his son, the murderer, Muhoozi Kainerugaba, the so-called commander CDF, a dead walking man. Salim Saleh, the brother to the dictator. Rwabogo, the son-in-law. Count and count, the patient, the Dianas. This is part of the first family. If we are ever going to eradicate and fight corruption in Uganda, Ugandans poor. They have made Uganda a poor country under their reign. They made Ugandans suffer for the last 42 years because they want to promote their dynasty. But we as Ugandans, we stand firm, steady, that change is coming to Uganda. But what do we need from the UK government? We are immigrants who happen to come from Uganda because of the situation that the UK government supports dictators around the world. And one of them is the dictator of Uganda, Museveni, the brutal junta. We are calling on the UK to stop the £1 billion which goes to Uganda every year with no accountability. £1 billion is pumped in Uganda for the last 42 years. That is £42 billion, while our veterans in this country are suffering, while the pensioners are suffering, while we have our brothers and sisters sleep in the streets of London and other cities, while £1 billion goes to Uganda and accountable. Your taxpayer, you pay the tax. Your tax money ends up in Uganda, supporting the longest brutal dictator in the world, Museveni of Uganda. That's why we are calling accountability, meaning that the £1 billion to Uganda should be stopped and stopped immediately, because that money goes to Uganda to rape Ugandans, to torture Ugandans, to kidnap Ugandans with that £1 billion which goes to Uganda with no accountability. People power. Our power.
People power.
NUP. Everywhere. That's why we are here today. To let we are the crime scene. We are standing in front of the so-called Uganda High Commission, the representative of repression in Uganda, the representative of dictatorship in Uganda, the representative of the rapists and murderers in Uganda, the so-called Uganda House. People power. Our power. Thank you.